Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW, in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
They tell me that when I hear my name, I'm supposed to start talking. So here I am, back with you for another couple of hours of fine plane spotting from DFW Airport on this Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022. Now, I saw a plane headed up to the starting point there, Alaska Airlines, so let's take a look on Runway DFW. We are here with you before dawn, and we've got a couple of non-American Airlines planes ready to take off. First of which is Alaska Airlines, Flight 287. A Boeing 787-9 off to Seattle. There on the right, and on the left it's Delta Flight 732 and A320, which is going to Los Angeles. So let's do the best we can under the circumstances, because my camera's not really made for this lighting condition. It's a great camera in daylight. Not so much when it gets to be a little dim, and we're still about a half hour away now from sunrise. So I welcome you to our little shindig here from DFW Founders Plaza on the north side of this gigantic airport. And we greet you from our special satellite truck here, parked at DFW Founders Plaza. And here goes that Delta A320 off to La La Land. And when things calm down in a minute, I'll head over to the keyboard and I will personally greet those of you who have been kind enough to join us this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, wherever you may be. It's hard to get used. I've worked for a local TV news station for all of my career since 1975, and so it takes some getting used to recognize the fact that you're not necessarily broadcasting to people in your time zone or even in your country. And that's just the way it is. And I'm happy about that. But you'll have to excuse me if I'm not quite used to it. So there is the gigantic American flag next to it. That looks like it might be a toy tower there next to a regular size American flag, but no, that's like what? I've counted the stories before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about an 8 or 9 story tall tower there. So that is, by definition, a pretty gigantic flag. And I am checking out our signal now to make sure. I do test every morning before I come on the air and make sure that everything is seems to be going well, but sometimes it doesn't. Let's say good morning to Kruger from Austin in Texas. And there you see some mowing going on. I don't know what they're mowing. Nothing is growing. We're in the midst of a gigantic drought here in North Texas. It's 100 plus degrees Fahrenheit every day. And yeah, I haven't had to mow anything on my lawn for a couple of months now. MJ Scanlon Photography says, sun's a little higher here in Memphis. We'll send it your way, Walt. Okie doke. Well, it's a coming. It's a coming. I saw MJ on yesterday's epic feed from Airline Videos Live, and Kevin, and he was up there on the roof of the garage, and that was a fine show. And what do we have a birthday? Is that correct? Well, you know what that calls for. If I can find it. And I haven't been able to so far. Well, for some reason I can't find my birthday music. Oh well. So anyway, happy birthday to Southwest Air 521. And I apologize, somehow on my computer I've lost my birthday music. And we say good morning from Runway Collin County and to Runway DFW fans. Our Arkansasian, how do you say? Is there a word for that for somebody from Arkansas? Arkansan, our Arkansan friend Bill Caldum is here. I'm looking at you, Chris, who's saying good morning to all. And so, oh, and Kruger, he had AUS in there, and I assumed my mind went to the airport code for Austin, Texas, but Australia. So it's late at night where Kruger is, and we're glad to have you on board with us. And we're kind of in a little pause here. There's not a lot going on. Here's a wide look at the sky from camera 3. The skies are clear, pretty much. A little haze. It is currently 83 degrees Fahrenheit here. I'll do my little calculation here. And that's 28.3 degrees in the Celsius world. And of course, today's forecast is another 100-degree plus day here in North Texas. We're getting kind of used to it. Now we're in a new, I guess this is our first broadcast of the new month, August. And so we're just trying to stay cool. We'll be here with you for, let's see, it's almost 6:30, for about 2.5 more hours if things go as planned. So I hope you'll stick around with us. And let me scan the skies to see what we've got coming up. All right, well, we've got some cargo action for you now. It's going to be Polar Air Cargo, a DHL Polar Air Cargo, and it looks like it's coming in on this side of the airport. Usually it comes in on the east side. Today we're going to see it on the west side. So that is next for you on Runway DFW. Be another second or two before it's in our sights. We have adapted our filming location just a little bit. It won't look too different to you, but we've moved away a little bit from the area here at DFW Founders Plaza. Let me show you what we're looking at here. There is a cigarette butt dispenser, of course, but we're on a concrete pad here, which is on the away from the grassy area, because the last couple of times we've been here, the sprinklers have come on, and that's not such a hotsy-totsy idea when you're trying to use semi-expensive equipment, especially if it's not really weatherized. So there you see a maintenance worker who's from DFW Airport, who's going about his business, and here comes the DHL Polar Air cargo flight. It sounded a little dead here because I forgot to turn on the ATC. And there's nothing happening there either. Our next contestant is going to be an American Eagle flight from Lawton, Oklahoma, an Embraer 145, American Eagle flight 3592. And we'll get it in our sights as soon as we can. What you're looking at there is the East Tower at DFW with the skyline of the city of Dallas behind you. And we are greeted by Jack the Cat. Good morning, Walt, from Mexico Beach, Florida. It's an hour later than it is here. And our friend Raina Taylor is with us this morning. Good morning to Walt and my fellow friends. Hello. SB joins us. Hello, SB. Brent Meyer wants to know if the beacon is still on. Well, it is. Should we get a picture of that for you before we see our next plane? Let's see if I can do that for you. Well, let me get this flight first. This is the flight from Lawton, Oklahoma. Okay, now I'll spin around, make sure I don't compromise any of my cables. And we'll bring you the shot of the big green beacon, which spins around at night. They shut it off during the day, but it's perched here up on this kind of mini hill overlooking the west side of DFW Airport. And in just a second, we're going to spin back around so that we can show you an incoming American Airlines flight from Austin. This will be flight 2563 737-800 from the state capital of Texas. Runway Collin County says, I woke up at 4 a.m. and an MD-11 freighter flew over his house in Allen, Texas, from Louisville to DFW. Yeah, we saw one of them come in as we were setting up, one of the MDs. I see 3 of them over at the UPS cargo hub behind us. And we'll take a look at those as best we can in a minute. Because we're a little set back from where we normally are on the grass, our picture of the our overall view of the UPS area is not as good as it usually is. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So there's the flight from Austin. Here's the UPS MD-11, which came in whilst we were setting up. We get here about an hour before we go on the air to get everything plugged in and checked out. And then if we aim our camera over to the right, and we're looking south now, there you can see 2 tails, those distinctive tails of the tri-jets parked there. And I think, if I remember watching the or looking at the arrival and departure board, that at least one of them is going to go out while we're here, so maybe we'll get a look at that. I hope so. So what are we looking at over there? We got a Martinair Cessna 208B Super Cargo Master. No indication of where that plane, or how old that plane is, excuse me, but it is it's headed to Wichita Falls, which is not very far at all. I think we do get some American Eagle flights from there, and it's less than a 30-minute flight for a jet. So it'll be a little longer for this little guy. Trying to find out when this plane was built, and looks like 2006 from what I can tell. And we'll talk about Runway DFW for a moment. We're up to 5,244 subscribers. We hope you will subscribe and like to our channel if you haven't already. That helps us grow. That helps YouTube know that, kind of share our vision of airport activity with others of like mind here on YouTube. So subscribe and like if you would. No cost to you. We just did get one new subscriber as I'm looking at the chart, so thank you very much. Hello to Tim Heasley in Western Pennsylvania. Glad to have you aboard. Let's see if we can follow along with this Martin Air flight, which is about to enter your picture. Looks like they got this taking off on 18 right, which is usually the landing runway. But they assigned it to take off on this one. 18 right is the runway that's closer to us.
130, 2000,
Off to Wichita Falls, which is to the northwest of here, along the Oklahoma border with Texas. A bit windy here, breezy. I think the forecast had the wind speeds going up to around 15 miles an hour. And things are a little topsy-turvy today. We have the Anchorage flight from American Airlines, Flight 817, which normally comes in here on the west side, is arriving on the east side today, so we'll follow along with that. Because we don't have a view of the three parallel north-southeast side runways here, we just get to look at these planes gliding in and disappearing behind buildings and parking structures and such. This is an A321 Airbus aircraft. You kind of see the orange glow of the pre-sunrise behind it. And what's this? Another Martin Air. This one's off to Abilene, Texas, or at least it was when I last, before it disappeared off my radar. Dang it. Gall dang it. John Kelly Grant is with us. Good morning from California, where it's early. Up before the dawn there.
This is local 546.
And you can tell it's windy here.
Security fuel is 3.0 on the left, 0 in the center, 3.7 on the right, cabin temps 85.
Even though the tripod is locked down and weighed down by a 50-pound battery, it does kind of shake around a little bit when it gets to be windy. So it looks like this is going to be another 18 right takeoff. we got a whole parade of aircraft on approach. Let's see if we can get you a visual of that. There's a sign in the foreground, but the first one we will see is that's going to be UPS flight 9837 from Tulsa. It's a 757. And we're going to be interrupted by that sign there for a second. And as I usually relate, we don't see any passenger 757s here at the airport. To my knowledge, I haven't seen any. I'm going to tell you how old that plane is now. Yup. It's a 31-year-old aircraft. Still flying proudly. And there you see, there's American Eagle Flight 3760 coming in from Killeen in Texas after a very brief 34-minute jaunt. We've got some more cargo action coming now from UPS. This one's coming in from Houston, and this one's going to be the 757's big brother, the 767. And unlike that last plane we saw, this one is listed as brand new. It was delivered in November of last year. And did I say where it's coming from? It's coming from Houston. Houston Intercontinental. The wind is coming almost directly from the south, and the planes are landing into the wind. Our camera's pointed to the north right now. And we're about to get the sign in our way. And again, if you just joined us, I'm parked at a slight disadvantage for viewing because of sprinklers here at DFW Founders Plaza, which have come on, I think, the last 2 or 3 times that we've been here. So now it's time for our moment of reflection here on Runway DFW, where we pay attention to the sunrise. I would like to take a moment there for meditation here on Runway DFW. You can only see so many planes, right? And plus there are, except for the one that flew through the picture, there aren't any planes right now. I think we've got another one coming up on the far side. It's going to be SkyWest Airlines flight 3275. It's CRJ 701ER. I better unlock my tripod or else I won't be able to follow it for you. It is arriving from Fort Smith, Arkansas. Here comes that 767 we saw landing a few moments ago. Good morning, cockpit crew. And again, this plane just came in from Houston in Texas. Now arriving after about a 24-minute flight from Wichita Falls in Texas. This American Eagle flight. Looks like we've got a Delta jet coming over the bridge from the east side. Trying to get a clear view of my feed coming back. So hang on a second. Okay, I apologize. I like to see what I'm sending out to you, and my return feed locked up there. What was that, you might ask? That was American Flight 2272, an A321 coming in from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And the Delta flight we had eyeballed a little bit ago. It's Delta Flight 1662. It's an A319 baby bus. And that one is on its way to Minneapolis and St. Paul, the Twin Cities. And I think you'll see it right about now. There it is. Been a little quieter than it often is here on a Wednesday morning. Doesn't look like we're going to see any cargo action or any 747 action today, unfortunately. So this flight's taking off from one way. It's my bugaboo. Runway 18 left, which is the standard configuration for takeoffs here on the west side. Although we did see a couple of those little prop cargo planes take off from the 118 right, which is normally where the planes land. We've got a lot of people hanging out with us today. We've got Jane Harkis from Barry, Wales in the UK. Good to have you along with us. A-list flyer Chris, good morning everyone. Beautiful morning here in the Metroplex. Saw you also on Kevin's stream yesterday. And Ms. Wolves 13, good morning, Runway DFW and Walt. Coming in from Wichita, Kansas now as that Delta plane kind of hangs out there. It's American A321, flight 2862. If you were standing here with me right now, you'd never know that this is going to be another one of those searing 100-degree days in North Texas, because it's just so there's a nice breeze. It's pleasant. Things are a bit topsy-turvy today. We have the Honolulu flight, which almost always comes in over on this side, is arriving, the American Airlines flight from Honolulu. It's arriving on the east side today. And that's a 777. And it has disappeared. Not really, it's just not in our view anymore. So here's the Minneapolis-St. Paul plane headed out, but as you can see there are some operations trucks out scampering about on the runway, which may be why we are seeing planes landing on the other side. And why we see that Delta plane not moving. Now I hear a helicopter behind me somewhere. Don't see it. They're having a little conversation here. Meanwhile, that's on runway 18 left. On runway 18 right, we still have incoming aircraft. American Eagle 3262 coming in from San Angelo, Texas after a 42-minute jaunt. In the meantime, these guys are having a chat about something there at the top end of runway 18 left. And now the Delta flight has begun to move. Those trucks are moving out. Here comes the Delta flight off to Minneapolis-St. Paul. I guess whatever has been a concern is no longer that. Another American Eagle regional flight coming in. Just saw the wheels at the top of your screen. And here goes Delta off to the Northland. Let's have a few more good mornings to Breezy. Hello to you. To Ken G. To Air Live. Hello. To Sebastian Echeverria. Hey Walt. Hey, back to you, Sebastian. And Jane, I think we got you already, didn't we, Jane? From Barry, Wales, UK? Yes, I think we did. And I thought I missed, did I miss anybody else? Becky Davis from Shrewsbury, Shropshire in the UK, the Midlands area. Tim Wells, hello from Ohio. I'm sorry I'm getting to some of these a little late. We have Captain James A. Lejano. Good evenings from Philippine Airlines, captain pilot for domestic flight and first officer pilot for international flights. Captain Lejano, when are we going to see Philippine Airlines come to DFW? I don't have any information. Have they ever come here? I'm not sure. Corey McCanwick, good morning everyone. Good morning to you, and good morning Spotting TV, our friends over there from Germany. Daniel, good to see you. John Kelly Grant is in California, and I think if I missed anybody, I apologize. Scientific, hello everyone. Hello to you. And Susan Duncan, good morning, Walt, and all happy Wednesday. So we're pretty caught up there. Welcome to all of you. If you're new to Runway DFW, what do we do here? We take pictures of airplanes at DFW Airport here in North Texas. DFW, we've had people ask, really, what's DFW mean? And it stands for Dallas Fort Worth. And, you know, that's an understandable question from somebody who may be tuning in from parts unknown. I certainly wouldn't know all the airports in other countries, and I don't blame anyone for not knowing what this one is. This one is, the last I checked, the second busiest airport in the world as far as passenger traffic goes, first one being Atlanta Hartsfield. This American Airlines 737-900 is on its way to the City of Angels in Los Angeles, the numero uno destination, or I guess the number one route that DFW serves. served by multiple airlines. At just about any hour of the day, you can get to LAX from here. And that doesn't even count all the other Southern California outposts.
And confirm 3832 at clear to land 17 center. Thank you, sir.
We're going to swing around for this arrival from an American Eagle flight coming in from Corpus Christi in Texas. That is on the Texas Gulf Coast. American Eagle flight 5781. How about a 777 for you? Here it comes. It's coming out of the American Airlines hangar here on the west side. I don't see its destination assignment yet, but maybe we'll see it a little later on. Camera 2 showing us another American jet hopping over the bridge to the east side of the airport with the skyline behind us. Waters joins us from Lanzarote, if I'm pronouncing that right, in the Canary Islands, watching while sitting around the pool. Really? You're watching us while you're sitting around the pool? Well, hey, that's great. I'm glad you are. We have, where do we see it here? Okay. JJH. Hi, I'm in Tahiti. Well, welcome to you to Runway DFW. Glad to have you with us. Where, I don't know, is this must-see TV for tropical vacation destinations? I don't know. But welcome to you. Albert Anthony checks in saying, I have flown out of DFW. It gets quite busy indeed, but also quite big and modern. It's also the hub for American Airlines and near their headquarters. And yes, it certainly is. Just down the street from here. And Runway Collin County wants us to know that they've made a DFW airport in their playroom. Not exactly sure what that means, but send us a picture. That'd be something to see. You can you can get in touch with us at runwaydfw@gmail.com. Do we have anything to send our way? Uncle Car Guy up in Indianapolis letting us know that there's a UPS 767 just 23 minutes out. We should be here to see that, short of any unforeseen circumstances here. 3_UT1. Can you show some landings? I love to watch landings. Yeah, we'll have landings for you. Don't you worry. That same viewer, good afternoon, watching while I'm eating to learn something. I really love to watch your videos, from Sammy. So kind of you. And so, Sammy, you wanted a landing? We'll show you a landing, okay? It's part of what we do. It's an American Eagle Embraer 175. Rate the landing. That was American Eagle Flight 4046 coming in from Amarillo in the great state of Texas after a 48-minute jaunt within this great big state. And so Runway Collin County is letting us know that they've made a DFW airport of belongings of mine that I found in my playroom in my house. Now you'll have to send us a picture of that because I think everybody wants to see that. Right? Local car guy says at 8:46 our time, there will be a 737-800 heading to him. By him, I think he means Indianapolis. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Coming in from San Antonio in Texas, this American Airlines 737-800. Flight 2342. And there's a look at the big sky. We normally use camera 3 to show you a picture of Founders Plaza here, but because we're backed up a little bit further than we normally are, I can't show that to you today. Unless I turn my main camera around, which we'll do on occasion. We have from McAllen, Texas, which is in the southern part of the state, American Airlines Flight 2768, an Airbus A319. Now on final approach. So we will switch to camera 1 and take a look. _UT1 liked that landing. Local car guy giving us an update on the tri-jets. Well, one tri-jet heading out at 8:03, which is about 45 minutes from now, local time. And then shortly after that, the UPS 757. was American Airlines Flight 2540 from Omaha, Nebraska, 737-800. And there we have one of those little trucks headed around there. Got some new subscribers checking in. And I welcome all of you to our broadcasting effort here. So we've got Danny P, who is subscribed, Asim Akar, well, I won't even attempt to pronounce your last name, Asim, but thank you for subscribing. Tony Redden, new subscriber, Winter Zero, Tachira Vasquez, Smoke and Slice Barbecue, well those are from yesterday, so, but yeah, we've got some new folks joining us. Thank you all so much. Another incoming flight. This one's coming from Laredo in Texas, South Texas. Yes, it's, well, not American Eagle this time. It's Sky West.
American 2789, just over Keepers for the visual, 17 left.
It's a CRJ 701 ER and a 1-hour flight from Laredo in that 16-year-old aircraft. There's a look at one of the cargo doors of one of the MD-11s at the UPS cargo facility. Uncle Car Guy says it feels like all Texas flights come in the morning. That may be because they have to connect. I mean, well, one of the purposes of a big hub like this is to make connections. So the flights come in early from, you know, the smaller airports to connect up with the big planes that are going to the bigger destinations. Danny P says, hello from Wichita Falls. Might try in-person spotting this weekend at DFW, but the heat. Well, you know, if you're not doing what I do, which is standing outside and shooting constantly, you know, if you just want to spot planes, you can park your car, sit in the nice, cool, air-conditioned car, watch your radar app, and then pop out of the car to see the planes land and then, or take off and then go back in the car. I can't do that though. And Captain Lajano is saying soon to landing of Philippine Airlines in Dallas, USA. Is that news? Are we getting news? Because that would be kind of cool. I'm sure there's a Filipino community here in North Texas, because there's almost every kind of community here in North Texas. It's a pretty big melting pot. So that would be cool. Let us know if you have any information as to when that might occur. Jane Harkis wants to know if we can show the statue, Walt, please. And what she's talking about is what you see in the blurry part in the foreground. It's a statue of some children who are who are kind of playing airplane. And unfortunately, because of our setup here, it's kind of photobombed by by binoculars and signs and benches and things like that. But there's a view of one of the participants. Not in focus. It's not focusing. But I think there's, 3 children there? Yes. And, do I have it here?
Stay tuned for Gomer Pyle next on most of these CBS stations.
We hope you liked it. Too late to change it now.
But anyway, that's that. I just want to pause it. Let me pause it. So sorry about that. But anyway, that's what the full statue looks like with my grandson in front of it. Runway Collin County saying, I'm wondering how I can take a picture and send it to the stream. You really can't. I'm not set up for that, but if you send it to you can send a picture to the email address that I provided, which is there, runwaydfw@gmail.com. We'll take a look, okay? So we are in a kind of a lull right now, you would say, I think. I don't see anything going on here. There's a look over to the bridge area. There's something going on in the air above us. It's like a plane with a contrail high above us. I'm trying to pick it out of the sky so we can see if we can identify it. But not having much luck. See if I can see it on my big screen here. Oh, there it is. Is that it? That's a pretty high in the sky above us. I'm trying to look at the radar and see what that might be, but I'm not picking it out of the radar. Appears to be going to the northwest. It's so high up. I'm at full zoom and I can hardly make out the shape of the plane. So if you've got any guesses, let me know. No idea, folks. Let us say good morning to Sharaf Nassour. Good morning to you. And I think Uncle Car Guy's talking about that MD-11 we were looking at. He was saying it was delivered in 1998, 25.4 years old, and has 3 GE CF6 engines. And I'm guessing that's based upon the N number of that plane. So thank you for that info, Uncle Car Guy. Paul Freeman was guessing that the plane we were looking at was a Southwest. And Kenji was suggesting I point my phone to the plane. Well, yeah, I guess I could do that. That is a feature that is part of Flight Radar 24. But I'm not seeing anything in that. Well, maybe, okay, this is it. Huh. That could have been a NetJets flight from Houston to points unknown. A Bombardier Global 6000. Oh. I was showing you what I was pointing at. That probably didn't make much sense to you, did it? Well, I'll have you know this is a semi-professional operation we got going here. Uncle Car Guy says it could have been possible military, although one of the other commenters noted that it wasn't making a big contrail, so I don't know, who knows. So that is what it looks like here. It's 7:30 already. Let's re-identify ourselves here for a second, shall we?
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW, in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
Okay, we're back. I had a drink of water there to refresh myself, and here we are. Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022. If you've just joined us, welcome to our little on-air shindig here. We're about to see a Spirit Airlines plane take off. So let's keep going on Runway DFW for this August 3rd. And I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. Spirit Airlines is headed out to Las Vegas. And how much longer will we be looking at Spirit Airlines? That's the question now that they've entered into an agreement with JetBlue to make a bigger, low-cost airline. And I suspect the chances are not good that JetBlue is going to adopt the Spirit name for their joint venture. I've never flown on either one of those airlines, but it just seems to me from what I've read and what people have talked about that JetBlue has a much better, I guess, reputation as an airline. Like, maybe it's like classier or something. I mean, they're both low-cost airlines. But I've always had the impression that JetBlue has kind of portrayed itself to be a little more upscale. I don't know if any of you have flown on either one of those carriers. There's a look at Terminal D, the international terminal here at DFW. Bill Caldham is checking out for a bit, going to feed some deer. I applaud you for that. Wes Westbrook is saying, "Hi Walt, maybe no more bananas." Yeah. It was hard to see on the I'm squinting at my screen here, but yeah. I suspect that we will have seen the end of yellow aircraft. We say hello to Bjorn Palm from Germany. Hello to you. And Spotting TV likes our 70s jingle. Kind of a 70s guy, so if you can put up with that, we welcome you here to Runway DFW, because you'll probably be hearing more of it. And once again, I'm what they call in the business vamping, because there's not much in the way of aircraft activity right now. You're about to see an American Airlines A321 go through your picture, coming from the American Airlines hangar, going to the terminal area. We just had a UPS 767 landing here, which Uncle Car Guy had alerted us to, but we didn't get to see it land. And the reason we didn't get to see it land is because it landed on runway 13 right, which is kind of the crosswind runway. There you see it coming towards us. It was coming in from Austin. And That's as far in as I can zoom. It's still pretty far away. Runway 13 right is to the right of us, or to the west of us. We're looking south, so it would be to the right of this picture. But it comes in at an angle, 45-degree angle to the north-south runways here on the west side. And as this 767 comes in, we've got a 757. This one's going to be headed out to Ontario, California. I'm just double checking on the age of this aircraft. $1988. Our jingle singers have once again come up with the correct answer. So it's been around a bit, seen a few airports in its time. Meanwhile, we've got a little better view now of the 767 as it approaches. And the sprinklers, I hear. It's been our bugaboo the last few times we've been here at the airport. They are going off across the way in the little plaza area. And from my experience, it means it'll be a little while before they fire up over here, but I've got to be really careful about that. So yeah, I've backed up my equipment a bit so that I don't run into a bad situation.
2879. Sir, we need to hold our position here so the other aircraft can exit out of the ramp.
So you see a 767 on the left, a 757 on the right, both UPS cargo planes. Let me see if we've got anything coming in. Looks pretty quiet. Oh, and we're going to miss another plane coming in. It's coming in right now, in fact. The flight from Maui, American Flight 116, it's landing right now on runway 13 right, which again we can't see it from here. It almost always lands right in front of us on 18 right. So c'est la vie. No Dreamliner from Maui for us this morning.
Show 676.
Jane is saying there's going to be a hose pipe and sprinkler ban in the UK because of no rain and less water in reservoirs. And yeah, we've had some communities here in North Texas which have had similar issues with water. In fact, my community has. They told us, don't use your sprinklers, don't use excess water because our tank is running low. And a nice comment from Wes Westbrook. So, enjoy the planes, nice channel. I guess I was talking to Sylvia, sorry. Morris Reddick saying good morning from sunny South Dallas. Good to see you, Morris. Sylvia S., hello from Michigan. Just found your channel. I love it. Maybe I'm adding a little more. I'm putting a little more into that than the way you might have said it. But we're glad you found us. Uber pilot Dave, good morning, y'all, from real far away in Plano. Plano being a suburb of Dallas. Let's follow along with this 757, shall we? Where did we say that was going? Oh, Ontario. Now, if it's going to Ontario, that's in California. It would normally be taking off from this side of the airport. It looks like it's headed over to runway 18 left right now. And so the question is, will it turn right? Yes, it will. Will it be a turn and burn, as they say? Yes, it will. Will it need much runway to take off? No, it won't. So there you have it. Leaping off the pavement, eagerly making its way to the left coast of the USA. And I just kicked the tripod. Here comes the 767 into the parking space, which I think was just vacated. A-list flyer Chris is informing us that Korean and Japan Dreamliners are over the Panhandle, both on time. And if we're lucky, we will see them here. We have a pretty firm off time of 9 a.m. Central Time, which is an hour and 15 minutes from now. And the reason for that is because I gotta go to work, do my regular job, the one that pays. So I will have to bug out at that time. Gene McCagnon, good day to you, Gene. Happy to have you along. Quiet again, right? The skies are empty.
Good day, American 1343.
Ah, but we do have . we do have this here aircraft. It's a UPS MD-11, which you can only kind of see the tail and the top quarter of the fuselage there behind that fence. But it's headed out to Louisville in Kentucky in the USA. And we know how old this is. Let me double check, make sure we've got the correct date.
$1991.
Yep, 1991. 31 years old. And so the next question is, will it take off from this side of the airport, the west side or the east side? Often it's kind of a pot shot. I'll take bet. Well, I won't take bets. Can't take bets, but what's your guess? I mean, the conventional wisdom is that an eastbound aircraft will take off on the east side of the airport and vice versa. West side on this side, westbound on this side. But I've seen it. It's like about 50-50 with these UPS MD-11s. Sometimes they'll just go right out there on the runway and take off from this side, or then the air traffic controllers will direct them over to the east side. So we're about to find out. But again, we don't have a good view of the taxiing portion of this section because of where we're located. I've found that if we're closer to the UPS section, which is a nice view over there, we tend to get radar interference in our signal, and we also don't have as good of an internet connection. So I'm kind of going by what my experience has been. So we'll get to see it in its full glory here in a moment. And yes, this is going to Louisville. And there is that distinctive tail. Making this, for a plane spotter, one of the easiest planes to pick out of a crowd. Because there's just no other plane that has that configuration, at least not in that same way. I'm going to take a gamble and say this goes out of here on 18 left. It's got a little competition over there from a little United A319, which is headed to San Francisco. There you see it. You heard 2751 Heavy, that's the designation of this aircraft, Flight 2751. And yeah, we're going to see it lift off, and As those of you who pay attention to MDs know, they don't need much runway to take off. When they go up, they go up.
On FB Park, 18 left, clear for takeoff, GPS 2751.
Here we go.
Line up and wait, United 2371.
Beautiful. Well, in lieu of a 747, I'll take that. This aircraft again, A319, headed to San Francisco, also on the west coast of the USA. And as we watch this take off, we may spot American Airlines Flight 430, an A321 coming in from Charlotte in North Carolina.
Have verified clear to land, American 430. Line 1, right, American 430.
I think you may have seen there in the background as that was landing a Japan Airlines flight which is getting ready to take off. Were my eyes deceiving me? No, they were not. That Dreamliner's headed to Narita Airport in Tokyo, and we'll be seeing it take off in the next few minutes. And Kel's 1136, I believe he's referring to the MD-11, saying I could watch those all day. Yeah, Morris Reddick saying nice departure as usual. And there's more of that grass mowing. I guess they've got to keep the grass short, especially with the fire danger there is here at the big airport, or everywhere in North Texas, because of the searing heat and the lack of rain. Paul is referring to the United jet we just saw depart, saying that it looks new with the United livery, or it looks new. Yeah, the old 319 looks new with that new United livery, I think is what I'm understanding. Kells was saying rocket launch on those planes. That's another MD-11 referral, I believe. And Sharaf Nassour also appreciated that. And MJ Scanlon with a tidbit. He's filled with these airport or airline aircraft nuggets, saying that that was an ex-Thai Airways International MD-11. So that's pretty cool to know. And momentarily you'll see through camera 2 there, which is what you're looking at. The big white Japan Airlines Dreamliner is about to enter your field of view. I promise you it's coming. There it is. And that is a Runway DFW approved livery. I like that. Maybe we should have the livery awards. There are awards for everything. There must be awards for aircraft liveries, right? If not, maybe we should invent them. We should have votes. Glistening in the morning sun on its way to Narita Airport. That is a 5-year-old 787-9. Oh, we're about to get a double play. Are we about to get a double play? I think we are, because we are about to see the 777 coming in from Buenos Aires. It's American Airlines Flight 996. That's a much older plane, 21 years old, dating back to the year 2000. And trying to decide if I should swing around to get the 777. Yeah, I think we will, because it's on final approach now, so try to bring you both. How's that? But here's the Buenos Aires flight. Coming to you from the southern hemisphere after a flight of 10 hours and 40 minutes. And here goes JAL flight 6713. Definitely not leaping off the runway like that MD-11 we just saw did, but of course the MD-11 was just going to Louisville, and this one's going all the way across the Pacific Ocean. Happy 8 a.m. DFW, says Peter Bentley. And it is 8 a.m. We've got an hour left in our broadcast, so let us reintroduce ourselves, shall we? You are watching Runway DFW live and in color from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, USA. My name is Walt, and I'll be here with you for the next hour with more action from the world's second busiest airport here on Runway DFW.
On the World Wide Web.
More airport action for you now as we welcome American Airlines flight 1924 from Querétaro in Mexico. Bravo Lima saying, "Hi Walt, I used to fly in and out of DFW on a regular basis, but it's been years since I've been there. Thanks for bringing back memories." Glad we could do that for you and for everybody else who's watching right now. LG 1963 saying, "Need better cameras." Okay. Well, we've got 3 of them. We've got camera 3. And we've got camera 2. We do occasionally have a what they call a lag on our internet feed, and so that's perhaps what you're referring to. So I apologize for that. We don't have any. Our internet feed is out of our control. We just send it out and cross our fingers and hope that it arrives at your end intact. But sometimes it skips some frames sometimes, and you get more of a flip book view than we would hope you to get. And I just I don't have any better way to get the picture to you right now, so bear with us if the picture gets a little choppy sometimes. We'll do the best we can. Good morning to Joshua Leclerc. Good morning to you. And once again, we have a lull here at the big airport. There's a big wide picture of the sky. I don't see anything on either side happening at the moment. I feel like I need acts to come in. You know, like we had a show here in the U.S. called the Ed Sullivan Show, and it would bounce around from one. You'd see like the Beatles, and then you'd see a ventriloquist, and then there'd be a guy spinning plates. It would just be all sorts of things. It's like I need to call somebody out here on the lawn here to do an act for us while we're waiting for more planes. Well, we will have some more international action for you momentarily. It's going to be American Airlines Flight 1034 coming in from Guadalajara in Mexico. We will spin around and bring that to you coming in from the north. And if Flight Radar 24 is correct, that will be followed by an American Eagle flight from Lexington, Kentucky, I'm guessing. Flight 3598 and Embraer 175. We're having fun.
In the morning.
Alrighty then, here comes the flight from Guadalajara. It will land and then taxi over to International Terminal D. And that flight coming in from Lexington is just a little far off right now. We'll see it in a second. It's 84 degrees right now, Fahrenheit. That's 29 degrees Celsius. Runway Collin County keeping us up to the minute. Our daily Korean Air flight landing in 10 minutes. Korean Air Flight 31 from Seoul, Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. Thank you, Runway Collin County. Always good to see the Pepsi plane make an appearance. And we do see Korean Air Cargo also with their 747s and is it a 777 they fly cargo on? Won't see that today though, at least not while we're here. This again, the American Eagle flight from Lexington, Kentucky. Ed is saying, Ed Chillicott, saying you need to check your cable input. I'm going to try connecting to my signal again here. Got some ads playing, so I'm making myself some money while watching. So anyway, we do have interruptions in our signal sometimes. I try to keep up with it. I count on you guys for letting me know when things are going awry. But we do have some action here for you. Frontier flight. On its way to Las Vegas. So Frontier going it alone now that it's dropped out of the race for Spirit Airlines. This flight's going to Las Vegas. And what's on the tail? It's Joey the Opossum. Hanging out there. So do you think Frontier will try to merge with another carrier? Go it alone? Guess we'll find out. At A320 now off to Sin City. It looks like we have been bitten by the bad signal bugaboo once again. Our
Frontier 2133, good day, sir.
So I'm trying to do something that will keep us on the air while I reboot. I don't know if it'll work. I'm going to try. So bear with me. So what I'm trying to do here, behind the scenes, is to set up a phone so that it will stay connected while I reboot my main computer. And well, let me try something else. I'll try something else. Now this may go terribly awry, but I'm going to connect to a different hotspot. And when I do, things may kind of not work for a little bit, but then it should work again. If the worst comes to worst, I'm going to have to start a new connection. And I hope not to have to do that. So I beg your indulgence here while I sort this out. talk amongst yourselves. Okay, we're going to go away for a second. I hope to be back with you. What I'm going to do now is put up a little banner so that you'll know what's going on. And I'll be back as soon as I can, so please hang in there with us and we'll be back as soon as we can.
Disco.
Well, I think we're back. So, hello, if you've hung out with us. I think we're back on the air. Just one problem now. The sprinklers have returned, and they're headed our way, and the wind is blowing in our direction. So, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to hang out, but we'll give it a shot. So anyway, glad you could stick with us. We are going to try looking at some more airplanes before we get washed out here, okay? Here comes a Sun Country jet. Where's it going? I'm going to say Cancun. Let me look at my little guidepost here. Well, I was right. Cancun it is. But well, things are happening now. We're going to swing over here to catch Korean Air flight coming in from Seoul. And at the same time, we've got an outgoing UPS MD-11, our second of the morning. So there's our Dreamliner arriving from South Korea, and if we will just have camera 1 pan gently over to the right, we will see the tail end of this MD-11. So the question is, will it take off from this side of the airport, the west side, or will it be trafficked over to the east side? My experience has been that the second MD-11 off to Louisville generally goes over to the east side, goes over the bridge, takes off from the east side of the airport. So unfortunately we haven't had any Queens of the Skies this morning. Doesn't look like we're going to. But we had a couple MDs to show you. Getting ready to take off on runway 18 left is Delta Flight 2444 bound for Salt Lake City. It'll be an A319. Just about to land is American Airlines Flight 2335. That'll be a Boeing 737-800 from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm guessing this is going to stop here to let the Albuquerque flight come in. Actually, it's coming in behind it. And the Delta flight off to Salt Lake City is rolling. So I hope our signal's a little stronger now. We reboot our hotspot, and that sometimes helps. Wind picking up a bit. Let's see what our tri-jet does here. Oh, it's turning for a takeoff. Off to Louisville. Well, it looks like we are continuing to have problems with our broadcast. I'm seeing word of frozen screen, and we have gone to radio mode. So it looks like things are not going well as far as our transmission goes, I must say. I'm getting a clear indication of a strong signal on my end, but if you're not seeing what you're supposed to be seeing, then that's not good. We greet Chris from Jersey. And I don't know if he means New Jersey in the US or the Jersey Isles in the UK. Oh, the placeholder didn't go away. Okay, see, I'm not seeing that. Let me see if I can reproduce that. So I'm attempting to play back my own signal here for monitoring purposes. And okay, I'm seeing what you're seeing. You're seeing a radio show. You're not seeing what I'm sending out, in other words. And we have a problem, Houston. In H, this is the best comment of the day so far. Maybe low on transmission fluid. So what I'm looking at the picture that I'm sending out to you, and it shows that I'm sending it to you, but YouTube is not getting the picture I'm sending. You're just hearing the sound, apparently. And that's not going to work. So I guess I'm going to have to shut things down, because my goodness, I didn't plan to go into radio. Well, I have all the jingles, you know. I can do a radio show.
We're #1. Your first choice for continuous favorites
on Runway DFW.
This is Runway DFW.
in the morning.
But apparently there's no picture. There's definitely no picture, and that is not good. So I guess I'm going to have to sign off, and I apologize. I don't have any way to restore our picture. Apparently, I've tried, but it's just not working. So thank you for hanging out with us today. We'll try to work out the bugs for next time. We saw a few good things this morning, and maybe you didn't see all of them, but I have them recorded so I can document that we did send them your way. So anyway, Walt here. I'm going to. The funny thing is, I can put on. I think I can show you our logo. And here comes a Japan Airlines Dreamliner, which you will not see. I can paint the word picture for you. But in any event, we've lost our ability to relay images to you, so I apologize. We'll be back soon. I'll put up a notice when our next broadcast is. It could be later this week. It probably will be this weekend. Thank you for bearing with us. We will be back with you soon on Runway DFW. Thank you again for your consideration, and we'll be back. We'll be back with you soon. Bye.